And you can't teach a child a lesson who is completely dysregulated. Welcome to Simple and Healthy Mama. I'm Kate. Keeping things simple and healthy just got a whole lot more important in everyone's lives. We are now in the age of COVID-19. It feels like there was life before COVID-19 and life since COVID-19. I do have my master's in education in addition to having 2 young children of my own. So coming up, I will be giving you some ideas of things that you can be doing with your children at home now that everyone is suddenly a stay-at-home mama or papa, whether they chose to be or not. And I know a lot of people are really struggling with that. They're not used to this level of intensity with their families in such close quarters and without being able to take breaks and go out. And actually for our family, we're incredibly fortunate that having our kids home with us is a very manageable thing. I'm already a stay-at-home mom, so for our family, I know it's much, much easier than for most families out there. But first I want to take time to address something about COVID-19 that you might not realize. Even if you and your loved ones are healthy, you still need to take time to grieve. Of course, this is weighing really heavily on everyone as we come to realize how different our lives are going to be from this point forward and how bad this is likely to get. You also need to allow yourself some moments to be a victim. Yes, I am telling you to throw yourself a pity party, a mini pity party. Because stuffing all of this stress and frustration and disappointment inside will damage your well-being at a time when we need to be strong. Be weak to be strong. Give yourself time to scream into a pillow, to cry into a pillow, to punch a pillow. Apparently you just need a pillow. You need a pillow. We live in Minnesota and we've had our kids home since last Thursday. School's technically closed to kids after last Monday, after the school day. And so Tuesday they were open just for the first half of the day for parents to go in and pick up schoolwork. I debated the safety of even doing that, but I decided that I could manage it if I left our kids at home with my husband, because despite my vigilance and warnings, they can't not touch things. We went to Trader Joe's last Thursday morning for one last grocery run. I had them in gloves and I wiped the cart and then told them that was the only thing that they could touch. I still had to apologize to one elderly lady whose personal space our daughter invaded. And then at checkout, I looked down and our son was about to suck on the corner of the counter. I think I stopped him in time, but I'm not totally confident. He's lucky that I didn't just take their bottle of hand sanitizer off the counter and fill his mouth with it. Once we were in the car, I showed them how to carefully peel their gloves off inside out. I put them in a bag and took them home and washed them, gave them hand sanitizer in the car, and then when we got home, they washed thoroughly with soap. Yep, COVID-19 is sort of a up release for all of us who have been battling with the OCD our entire lives, trying to keep it at bay, and now we can just let it run wild. So yeah, I wasn't gonna let our kids go to the school with me. So there I was, walking through my daughter's elementary school by myself in a deserted hallway, occasionally seeing a custodian fly by as they frantically cleaned. I had been there exactly a week before, volunteering in our daughter's classroom. In just one short but incredibly long week, everything in our lives had changed. As I walked into her classroom, it hit me, all of it. I gathered her work from her desk and turned around and saw the emptiness and realized that she's probably not going back to first grade. She was having an amazing year this year. She had the best teacher she will probably ever have, and it ended so abruptly. I walked back to my car, letting the tears just stream down my face. You can't touch your face anyway. And then I sat in my car and just sobbed. Big, ugly sobs. I let it out because I'd been holding it in and I needed this chance to grieve for our daughter's loss and for all of the other students who won't be returning to school this year and all of the things they are missing out on. I know that everybody is thinking we're supposed to keep it all in perspective and that these are the little things, and this applies to your kids too. I think it's tempting to lecture them about how their problems are actually very small compared to the suffering that other people are experiencing through this. And although I think it is important to let them know what is going on around the world and how this is affecting other people, you still need to give them their moment. And you can't teach a child a lesson who is completely dysregulated. A child who is so upset about their own personal experience in that moment needs to be allowed the time to work through that first. They need to have time to grieve their own losses as well. Seniors are missing prom and graduation. There are so many events that go on around schools in the spring, concerts and sporting events. It's the grand finale of the school year, and it's looking like everyone's going to be missing all of that. It's normal that it's going to hit them in waves as they realize all of these things are now off the table. Canceling a birthday party with friends is a really big deal for kids, so hold them close while they cry and wait until later to explain to them that they need to be grateful for what they still are able to do. Take your time with this. Don't feel so pressured to learn to homeschool all in 1 week. No one expects you to know how to do that. And schools will be coming out with a lot more information in the coming weeks. So take your time for the rest of this month to take the absolute best care you can of yourself. Make sure you get outside in the sunshine if you can. If you're not even allowed to go out at this point, at least sit by a window and make sure you get some natural light. And teaching your children these habits of self-care that are more important now than they will likely ever be in their lives. And please guys, make sure you do stay home if you can. There are healthcare workers putting their own lives on the line every day. I have some dear friends and family who are healthcare workers, and they are planning on continuing to work through this for us and for our families. But what they need you to do is to just stay home and be safe. See you next time.